program is part of the Scene Project's podcast network. The Scene Project features interviews with independent musicians, comedians, and artists from across the Midwest. Become part of our community and support local art wherever you are. Well, welcome into another exciting episode of The Scene. I'm your host, Bubba Startz, and with me today is videographer and drone pilot, Paul Slaathaug. Welcome to the show, Paul.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Oh, this will be great. Always nice to have another Dakotan on the program. Tell us a little bit about your backstory. I know you're relatively new to the drone flying and videography scene. So give us a little backstory, and then we'll talk about kind of how you got into what you're doing now and what the future looks like.
Sure. So basically, I'm a longtime IT guy, lived and breathed computers for over 25 years. My previous, most recent job, I worked for Microsoft for 15 years and recently got laid off from them. I started this business because I kind of knew that was going to be in the cards for me eventually. So I started this business just messing around with drones, doing some real estate here and there. And then I really fell in love with the video aspect of it and the editing of video and things like that. So now I've been doing it for about 2 years, and it's been fun, and I really enjoy it.
Working in IT, you obviously saw AI coming a lot sooner than the rest of the world did. I'm sure that has greatly affected a lot of guys that were in your position and pushed a lot of people into new beginnings in the last couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. AI is a huge game changer, especially in the IT industry. They're, making it easier for, to deal with customers and not deal with customers, but to work with customers in that aspect, to get that initial information gathering technique out of there. You still can't really rely on AI yet for everything. There's a lot of things out there that AI still doesn't know or can't figure out yet because we don't give it access to that stuff yet. So, maybe once that happens, things will get really scary, but we'll see.
We'll be talking about Skynet and all sorts of fun stuff.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the scary stuff for sure.
Oh, Paul. Well, I'm glad that, having left that industry, that you found art, and I know a lot of people wouldn't look at it that way, just getting into something like drone photography and videography. But it is an art form, not just to capture the video, but to be flying the drone. And that's something that I don't have a lot of experience in. So I'm really interested to know kind of how, did you have an interest in flying any sort of other vehicles before this? Or was it, that job was ending and it just seemed like something that could put some food on the table?
I've always been interested in aviation. I was a member of the Civil Air Patrol back in the late 90s. So I've always been interested in airplanes and aircraft. I wanted to get my pilot's license originally before I went into IT, found out that I didn't really want to have $150,000 in student debt. So IT was the better choice for me at the time. And so anything that flies, I've always kind of flown RC airplanes. I've flown real planes too. I don't have a license for that yet. So that might be something I'm working towards. But as far as the drones go, I got a drone because I started a YouTube channel just to capture family memories and things like that. And I was like, oh, what's something cool I could do with this channel? And I was like, let's do some drone stuff. So I bought a cheap drone, started messing around with that. And that is a dangerous rabbit hole to get into, because once you get one, then you kind of want to get more, and you get into that gear collection phase. And I don't know if I'll ever grow out of that, unfortunately, but hopefully the pocketbook won't kill me too much.
Yeah, you have to keep making more money and finding other ways to use it because you want to be able to fly the best and to use the new tech. And it just continues to evolve, right? Especially in the drone field, as things get smaller and it becomes more and more capable, it also gets more and more expensive. So I feel for you there. I'm a musician, Paul. I've been dealing with the gear envy and the endless purchasing for a long time. Thank goodness I picked up podcasting, and that's kind of taken a back seat now, but I feel you on that level.
Yeah, but even with podcasting too, there's all kinds of microphones, all kinds of cameras. It can get expensive quick too.
I settled in where I was like, you know what? I got the stuff that works right now. I do have an expensive microphone being a songwriter. I needed something there, but my journey started because I already had all the equipment that was kind of sitting here collecting dust when I wasn't recording music. And I wasn't someone who's prolific like some of these people who are recording, dozens of songs every year. I've only done dozens of songs in my life, so it was collecting dust, and I'm glad that we can put it to good use now. So you mentioned off camera a little bit that a lot of what you're doing for work now is mainly around using the drones and real estate photography and doing some of that kind of stuff. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for us?
Yeah, so basically we use the drones to get the aerial footage for the houses. I learned rather quickly that the drone isn't just enough to get gigs. You need to have a full package service. So I do also the photography and I do walkthrough videos as well with those. But yeah, the drone is probably my favorite thing to do. It's fun. It's kind of taboo in some areas too. You'll get the people that walk up and say, "What are you doing?" and things like that, or some people call them Karens or whatever. But they're more worried about their privacy than other people's privacy. So.
Yeah, not thinking that, the US government and plenty of other agencies are watching you through your camera every second of every day.
Oh, you mean one of these?
Yeah.
Right?
People worried about privacy. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Good luck. So, Paul, what else do you use the drone for? Are you doing any kind of like the videography? Are you working with any kind of artists? I know you're a little bit around the music business. You have some friends in radio and amateur podcasting, if you will. Are you using these talents that you've got to kind of seek work in other arenas?
Yeah, so in June I was picked up by BZW Wrestling, and I'm doing their video production currently. So I do their editing and video production, and that's been really fun. I'm trying to incorporate more drone into that. It's tough because some of the venues are, of course, covered roof. The open air ones are fun because then I can fly the drone a little bit and get some shots that way. But it's been fun. It's been a challenge, and I look forward to continuing to do that and more events like that. I found that working those live events is fun. It's a challenge, but it's really fun.
Well, speaking of those events, I had the opportunity to catch up with BZW Wrestling while they were out in Sturgis for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally at the Iron Horse Saloon. They put on a killer event. Big shout out to Nick Stokey for that one, friend of the show. Man, it was a great time out there. Now, you had your drones out there, correct?
Yep, I did. I wasn't able to fly mine there just because of you're not supposed to fly over people, and that was such a crowded area. I didn't want to risk it. And then there were a lot of police around, and I'd seen a couple other people flying their drones, and having the police have a nice conversation with them. So I was like, I've got too much other stuff going on just trying to film the show myself. So I ended up not being able to fly the drone there, which was unfortunate.
But still plenty of footage, I'm sure, from the event. I know we got plenty there with our camera. A great time there. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I haven't had the chance to talk to Nick yet post show. Can you talk about the experience from an outsider? I grew up in Deadwood. I'm very aware of what the rally is. I've been in the thick of it for many years as a musician, this year as a content creator out at the Sturgis Buffalo Chip. Shout out to them for having us out there. But can you talk about it, kind of traveling down with the crew from North Dakota and really being the center and the star of the show, at least for a few hours?
Yeah, I mean, it was overall an amazing experience. Getting down there, travel was great. There was hardly any hiccups there at all, so that was perfect. I had never been to Sturgis before during the rally. I'd been there several times before, just on vacation with family or whatever, but not during the rally. And that was a pretty eye-opening experience. I'm pulling into Sturgis, and I'm stuck between 50 bikes in the back, another maybe 100 bikes in the front. I'm in this long, convoy of motorcycles, And we get up to this stop sign and the cops are up there. They got people pulled over. It took us like half an hour to get a quarter mile. Like, it was insane how busy it was, and the traffic and just the noise. You can feel it in the air, just the rumble of all the Harleys and motorcycles. It's pretty crazy.
And we're about a month removed from it now, and I miss it. I love that time of year. As someone who grew up there, it's an opportunity, not just economically for everyone in the area, but you get to see your friends that you haven't seen all year that you know are going to be coming up for Sturgis. And I really feel a lot more attached to it now, not living in the area, right? When you live there, it has a much different thing. It kind of takes over your life and clogs everything up. A trip that took you 10 minutes before is now taking you over an hour. And so there's a lot of things that, coming from the outside now, traveling with everyone else, right? Traveling 5 hours to get to the show has just been very eye-opening to what actually is, what it is to be at the rally. It's about family and it's about community. And I was just so thrilled to get a chance to know Nick through, my connections to Matt Creed, who has the Allied International Wrestling Federations. That kind of overarches so many different independent promotions. But to now be a part of that community a little bit and to feel like I can contribute to what they're doing as well. Can you talk about what it is to, I mean, you're an independent, business owner, obviously, but can you talk about kind of being part of that crew up there in North Dakota that kind of has a lot of stuff going on right now? I know Nick was just at TNA over in the Twin Cities as well, and the growth that it's experiencing right now for the professional wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, Nick first off is an amazing person. His wife Teresa as well. They have their work cut out for them. I mean, he's got his own primary business he runs, and BZW is kind of like his side gig. So it's quite crazy. He's got an awesome crew. They all work really well together. I feel like I fit in pretty well with them, and hopefully we can keep going with that. But yeah, overall, Sturgis was amazing again. And one story I have about that is I was setting up my gear. I was running a static cam. I was in the VIP section on the back side. And one of the owners came out and they were shooting, t-shirt cannon, essentially, right? Well, they put burritos in there from Sweeto Burrito. And we're shooting 1 pound burritos into the crowd. One missed my camera by less than a foot. And the guy next to me caught it or tried to catch it. And when he caught it, it exploded and it shot burrito shrapnel all over my gear. So, and this is like 5 minutes before the show, and I'm sitting there scrambling, trying to get everything cleaned up. And it was chaos, but it was super fun.
You're going to be digging salsa out of that camera for years.
Right.
Oh, it's not Sturgis without some wild stuff happening. Most of the stuff I saw, I can't even share on our program.
I get that.
Well, Paul, I know we kind of connected through the crew and everything. I'm really happy to have you on the program and let you share a little bit about your story and your company. Why don't you go ahead and tell everyone where they can find you and where they can hire you if they need some videography done?
Sure. So I was known as Elevated Dronography LLC. I still have that website up currently. I'm going through a rebrand right now. I'm renaming the company to eagleeyemedia.llc, and I've got logos and stuff with that. I'm just working on getting the website finalized, and that one is eagleeyemediallc.com, and you can find my information there. Although it will be changing here as I get the site updated and ready to be, fully published. But yeah, that's where you can find my information and reach out to me.
Fantastic, Paul. Well, thank you so much for the work you're doing inside of our community and with other friends of the show. And thank you for being part of the scene.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thanks for having me.